Hello everyone. After my bartering guide, I got a lot of requests about Carracks, how to craft them, how to get the gear, etc. So in this guide, we'll be focusing on that, as well as what daily and weekly quests you should be doing, how to get sea crystals, and how to get Elberut Knoll. Let's start with the boats. You're gonna start either with an inferior sailboat or an inferior frigate. These are usually available in the market to buy with silver. If they're not, you have two options. One, you can build it yourself at the inferior shipyard, which is one of the workshops you can invest on this city. This will take a lot of your workers' time and a lot of materials. You can also, instead, buy a Bartali boat at Proa. If you do the Bartali route, you can upgrade your ship into a frigate or a sailboat at the wharf. Now that you have the inferior sailboat or the frigate, you are locked into your path. The sailboat will get evolved into a Caravel, and the Caravel can then be evolved into either a Carrack Advance or a Carrack Balance. Meanwhile, the frigate will be evolved into a Galleass, which then can be evolved into Valor or Volant Carracks. There is also a side grade, which is the improved inferior sailboat and the improved inferior frigate, that I do not recommend you build because all it does is let you shoot your cannons while you're at the wheel. You're not really gonna be doing sea monster hunting with these boats at all, so there's no point on doing this, to be fair. So let's look how you can upgrade your inferior sailboat or frigate to a Caravel or Galleass. For that, you'll have to go into the wharf and use the upgrade button like you did for the Bartali sailboat if you use that. You'll see the materials needed there. For the Caravel, you'll need a ship upgrade permit that you can buy in Filiberto Falazzi. You'll need plus 10 green gear for the inferior sailboat, which you can buy at Filiberto Falazzi and you can enhance with Talial Blackstones. If you do your can, you'll have more than enough to upgrade this. You'll also need 100 graphite ingot for upgrade, 100 timber for upgrade, and 100 adhesive for upgrade. These three materials come from crafting recipes that you need sea monsters used for, which is dropped from ocean stalkers and the Karus that are around Daily Island, Velia, etc. These are not the tanky ones that you find near Oculus Eye. They die really fast even if you just manually shoot your cannon. Also, you don't need to kill that many. You'll also need Island Tree coated plywood and rock salt ingot, which you can easily get by doing a ship material barter refresh and trade twice for each. And finally, deep sea memory field glue and seaweed stalk. You need 4 of each, and you can easily get this by doing daily quests or just buy them with crow coins because they are pretty cheap anyway. As for the Galleass, the materials are quite similar. The only difference is that instead of rock salt ingots, you'll need dyed standardized timber squares, and instead of seaweed stalk and memory glue, you'll need some moon scale plywood and cobalt ingots. All of this can be bought with crow coins, although the moon scale plywood you can get from Khan if you do that with your guild. And now, you have your inferior Caravel or Galleass. It means the next step is to move on to the Carrack. This is the step that's mostly time gated. We'll talk about the weeklies and daily quests you need to be doing in a bit, but basically building a Carrack involves a lot of materials that come from quests like this. So your first step to build a Carrack is to get plus 10 green gear for a inferior Galleass or Caravel that you can buy at Filiberto Falazzi. You'll then have to invest into a ship part workshop in Etheria to upgrade your plus 10 green gear to blue gear. And after that, you also need to enhance that blue gear to plus 10. Finally, with all the plus 10 blue gear, you just need to add some extra materials that come from the dailies and weeklies to complete the Carrack upgrade. The total amount of materials used will depend on the type of Carrack you're building. Let's go over the checklist that Scooty made for crafting your Carrack. You'll notice that most materials are available to be bought with crow coins or gotten from daily and weekly quests. The ones I want you to take a look at are the Great Ocean Dark Iron, which I recommend you barter for, and the Luminous Cobalt Ingot, which sometimes when you're exploring islands you might get a quest that can give this as a reward, therefore avoiding it having to pay crow coins. Finally, the Brilliant Rock Salt Ingot and the Brilliant Pearl Shard can be bartered for, but they require tier 5 materials, which are a bit annoying to stock up. If you're still going for your first Carrack, I do recommend you do this through barter. However, if you're making more Carracks to sell, I recommend you just buy these with crow coins. And congratulations, you finally got your Carrack. Now comes the last part of gearing, which should be getting a plus 10 blue gear for your Carrack. Just like the previous boats, you'll first need plus 10 green gear to craft into blue gear. The green gear for Carrack can be bought at Ravinia with crow coins. You'll then also need 10 blueprints that you get from specific worker nodes at 4 specific islands, which you talked about on the bartering guide, so go watch that if you haven't. And finally, for each blue piece, you also need 100 of each violent wave plywood, delicately polished support, and wave residue adhesive. These 3 items are obtained through a crafting recipe that uses a mix of Sea Monster Hunter materials and stuff you buy on the Crowcoin shop. Although, if you want, you can just buy everything on the Crowcoin shop, but it comes out much more expensive. If you buy everything, you're looking at 100,000 Crowcoins versus 50,000 if you do some Sea Monster hunting. To craft Violent Wave plywood, you need Violent Sea Monster scale and Saltwater Crocodile scale. For delicately polished support, you need Violent Sea Monster bone and Starlight Hardener. And for wave residue adhesive, you need Violent Sea Monster use and Starlight Emulsifier. You now have all the materials, so you need to invest into the workshop at Daily Island called Kiro Cheap Work Part Workshop. You craft your blue gear, and then you're gonna need roughly 2000 tidal wave blackstones to get it all the way to plus 10. And congratulations, you are now an overlord of the sea. Now this section will be for the daily and weekly quests you should be doing. When you don't have a Carrack, you can't really do them by yourself. I recommend you join the sailing Discord and try to leech your dailies, or sailies as they call them there, from someone else. The quests you're looking to take can be found on the quest window by pressing O and then going to the recurring tab. After that, scroll down and find the 2 sections that say Sailing Specialist and Bartering Specialist. You don't need to do all of these quests, okay? A lot of them only give sailing experience or crow coins. These are the list of quests that I take for boat materials. I start at the Valley of Wharf Manager and take the bartering quest that he has. I then sail to Willy Island and complete that quest there. At Helia, I take the 2 barter quests at Wharf Manager, the 2 barter quests at Preco, and their weekly if she has it, and the barter quest Lively Ilia Island. The 2 Preco quests I just do when I'm doing my 6-7 routes, all the way in Ariaza. You don't really need these ones, so you can skip them if you want. It's just crow coins. Now, from Milia, the next time I'm going to Lommel to do my barters there, I pass by Okilazai. There, I complete one of the quests at the Wharf Manager, and I take his daily quest, Old Moon Guild Young Sea Monster Hunter. If you take any of the other 3, you won't be able to take this one, which is the only one that gives Carrack materials. The Wharf Manager also has 3 weekly quests for you to accept. I then talked with this soldier, which has 3 dailies for me to accept and 1 weekly. I talk with Cario and accept his weekly quest for the Young Otter Merchants. And finally, I accept the daily and weekly from Arian, but you don't need to do these ones, it's just coins. If I'm doing the weeklies and not just the dailies, I will dive below the wharf and come to this exact spot. And here I'll harvest these spotted corals, these 2, which will give me 5 iridescent corals, so I can complete the quest at Cario. And now the path can diverge a bit. If we're doing the weeklies, we are just gonna do kind of a tour. We are gonna go through the Karu spot, northeast of Okila, and then go to the Candidum habitat, kill 1 there, go to the 9 Shark habitat, kill 1 there, and then go to Lommel and do our barter trades. And then on the way back, if we are doing the Arian quests, we'll kill 2 monsters at the Lacroshan spot, And if we're not, we just go straight to the Black Rust habitat and kill a monster there. And then on the way back to Aquila, we pass by the Ocean Stalker habitat, kill the monster there. After that, we go back to Aquila and complete all of the quests. If instead we are doing the daily route only, we can just come up here north of this island, and there's one single Ekaru that's lost for some reason here. So we can just kill him, and then come here, kill the Ocean Stalker, and then go do our trades on normal. And then on the way back, if we have the quest for Arian, we kill the 2 monsters of each here. And if we don't, then that means that we are basically done with the quests the moment we kill these 2 mobs here, okay? And that's basically it for your daily/weekly routine. Now the final topic will be the sea monster hunting Grindzones and sea crystals plus the Elberun null. So first of all, sea crystals are basically stones that you can put on your boat and increases 1 stat of the ship. There is 5 rarities: gray, green, blue, yellow, and red. When you get a crystal, it comes sealed. And when you right-click it, it will roll one of the 7 stats possible, which will then also have a RNG range of what the exact amount of the stat you get. This is all true up to the yellow rarity. However, the red rarity will always get the same max stat value, even though it's still RNG on which one you get when you open it. Oh, also, using Simple Alchemy on the sea crystals will give you some origins, and when you have 10 origins of the same grade, you can craft 1 crystal of the next rarity. That's pretty much gonna be the only realistic way of getting yellow and red rarity crystals, okay? There's also a special sea crystal called the Eberut Null. This is like a treasure item. Really hard to get, but really good effect. When you equip the Null into your Carrack, it will make your Breezy Sail skill activate twice instead of once. The Null goes on the same slot as the normal sea crystals. However, you can combine a Rusalka sea crystal, which is the red rarity, with the Null, giving the Null some extra stats. You also can uncombine them at any time, so don't worry about losing a Rusalka crystal. So you're probably asking, where do I get the sea crystals? Where do I get this so-called Null? Let's go over it. There's 3 specific grind areas for when you do sea monster hunting. There's the duo grind spot, Saltwater Crocodiles. There's the solo grind spot, Lekrashon. And there's the solo grind spot, Margoria Pirate Fleet. This spot should be grinded with Loot Scroll on and Agris as well, okay? The first one, Sea Monster Hunter Crocodiles, will give you some of the map pieces that you need for the Null, as well as the materials to get Carrack Blue Gear. The Lekrashon area is a solo grind spot. Here, the chance to get crystals is the highest. You can also get some materials for Blue Gear. However, you do not get any map pieces for the Null. On this grind area, when you kill a monster, there's a chance that it drops an item that will then summon Lekrashon, which is a really big boss that has a really high chance of dropping up to yellow sea crystals. Finally, the last grind spot, the Pirate Margoria Fleet, will not give you any materials for blue Carrack gear. However, you get both sea crystals and map pieces for the Null. This is the best spot if you just want to grind for the Null. For this spot, there's slight mechanics though. Whenever you get near a boat, it will activate a fleet of Margoria pirates, which will summon more boats. You need to get the big boat to 50% HP, then kill all the other boats, and then the big boat comes back and you kill it. Finally, you heard me talk about map pieces and how to get the Null. To have a chance at the Null, you need a treasure map. There is 5 different ones, each one leading to a different location. The Aquila spawn has a 1.5% chance of giving you the Null, while all the other maps only have a 1% chance. To get the treasure map, you need to combine 9 different map pieces in a square. There is 8 for the edges, and then the middle piece has 5 different variants, which will indicate the map that you get. If you have all 5 center pieces, you will know which one is the Aquila piece, because when you turn on auto arrange, it will be the first one shown. So, you're probably asking, how do you get these map pieces? Well, you get the moss-covered map from the Grindzones, and then, on the Crowcoin store, you buy Ravinia's Moss Remover and Simple Alchemy with the map. That will generate a random piece, and eventually, you will have enough to craft one. Anyway guys, I hope this guide helped you. If you don't know, I stream on Twitch, link in the description, and have fun out in the seas. Good luck, everyone.